this is me, Ruowen Huang. It's been a while, hey? You guys have to bear with me because it's summer vacation. Most of mom, like me, have 2 kids are probably busy around the house for whatever reason it is. So I will only do broadcasts whenever I have time. So again, before I begin, let me first introduce myself. My name is Ruowen Huang. I'm an author, spirit coach, and also a psychic. Today I want to talk about the middle word of life is if. Why do I want to talk about this? Many years ago, believe it or not, many years ago, I heard this phrase in one of those bathroom stall. Bathroom stall, you know how people always like to write things in bathroom stall. And then I saw this phrase and somehow it just stuck in my head for a really long time because I saw this when I was a teenager. So imagine that. So it says the middle word of life is if, right? So sure enough, this word, I keep trying to digest this word, understand this word. You know, you all know when you are age of 17, 18, you know, this sentence sounds really deep, right? So I guess I'm living my life trying to figure out what does that really mean? If, what does that really mean, right? And then sure enough, I put it in the back of my head, totally forget about this. Why do I think about it recently? It's very interesting because I've been having quite a bit of clients. Very often people will come to me for consultation. Almost the first question they have is, what's my purpose of life? Like, what's my task of life? What am I here supposed to do? Like, what's the meaning of me? You know what I mean? Like, those questions are almost common question that people come to me for consultation for. Like, they want to figure out, why are they for? Why are they here for? Like, what's their purpose? What's their task? What is that they're supposed to do? Many of them are even really young. Many of them are like 20-ish, 30-ish, or it's very common like 40-ish. They like, well, you know, I live my life, most of my life, but I really don't know what I'm supposed to do. I feel like I'm always on the wrong track, or I feel like I just lost. I feel lost. Very often people get into 30 or 40 years old, they feel very completely lost and they don't know where it is that they're going, right? And all of a sudden this sentence just popped into my head. So I'm here gonna share a little bit personal experience, personal opinion with you after 20 plus years from my very first time encounter this phrase. The middle word of life is if. Now where I am right now, I start to understand what I meant. You are not supposed to figure it out. Does that make sense to you? You are not supposed to figure it out. So it's okay you are lost. It's okay you don't know who you are. It's okay you still feel confused. You don't know where you're supposed to be heading and things like that. Why? Because the middle word of life is if. Does that make sense to you? Let's put it in a very mathematical way. If you divide life and it becomes 4 letters, now you divide your life, assuming you live up to 80 years old. And then you divide it to 4 sections. That would be 20, 40, 60, and 80. Does that make sense? Then that you will know from the time of 20 to the time of your 20, 60. You are supposed to be living in if, what if. You're not supposed to figure it out. You're not supposed to have a solution of it. Does that make sense to you? Now, in my mind, in where I am right now, I'm going to share my little bit personal opinion. Here, let me see if I can find my whiteboard here. Blackboard. Where did it go? Here. Let's see if we can do it this way. So if we divide the word life into 4 letters, right? Now, assuming you live up to 80, you will be 1 to 20, 20 to 40, 40 to 60, 60 to 80. Make sense? Let's say learn you're supposed to learn from your 20 years old. That's in life. You're supposed to learn, right? Now we say if. You're supposed to figure out things. Now we try to figure out what it is that we're supposed to figure out, because there's so many if. What if this? What if that? Right? Because if it's certainty, you're supposed to know what it is that you're supposed to do. It won't be if, right? It will be something else. Then we want to come back and talk about what it is you're supposed to look for. Now we look for the later part of your life. It's E. What are you supposed to, it's called, in my point of view, excellency. That means you are supposed to master something. You're supposed to be good at something. Now, what it is, you have to learn something, you have to be good at something. Now we have to figure out what it is that you have to be good at, right? As if. It takes my own personal journey to realize, if I divide it to I and F, between you are 20 and 40, you're supposed to figure out who you are. I. Who I am, what my value is, what it is that I want to be, you know. So if you before 40 years old, you're somewhere there, you realize, oh, anybody who is 40 years old will come back and tell you, yeah, I kind of spent the past 10 years, 20 years trying to figure out who I am. Why? It's in our nature. We just naturally want to figure ourselves out, right? Not to figure out someone else's life out for them, not to tell people how they're supposed to live their life. In your life, you're supposed to figure out who you are. Because it's a question mark, because we don't know. I often very confused, like, what am I here for? What am I doing here? I really don't know what my purpose is. You realize if you fall into somewhere around this age, you realize this question come out all the time. I'm here to tell you it's okay you don't know the answer. What you do need to have is you need to have the faith and believing your spirit guide will show you the way. But you do have to have faith in that, right? So eventually, I would say I almost guarantee most of you will find a way. So if you feel lost, it's okay you feel lost. It's okay you feel lost. Now we talk about the later part in life. Now I spent 20 years figuring myself out. What am I going to do with another F? You say, what does the F supposed to do? Well, I don't have many vocabulary, but now I'm going to tell you the word that I can come up best for it is called for. Does that make sense? After you spend the first part of your life figuring out who you are, what you want, and things like that, now you start to want to, or you have a desire, will want to know where you should place yourself. You know what I mean? How can I place myself in the society? What can I do for other people? What can I do for the society? What can I do for the world? What can I do for somebody? You know what I mean? So the best word I can come up to it is called for. That's how usually happen in the later part of your life, after you figure yourself out. So as you come into this age of 40 or 60, you start to realize to satisfy yourself is no longer enough. To please your own self is no longer enough, because it's no longer just me. You have an urge, your desire to reach out, to figure out something. So do you feel lost? This is mostly the time when people come and ask me what's their purpose of life. What's my purpose of life? Here, people will come and ask me what's my task. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to figure out? How can I figure out myself? This age, most of people will come and ask me, what can I do? What am I here for? I'm here for something. I'm here for some reason. So what I'm here to say is, if you fall into this age range, 20 to 60, and then you feel very confused of your life, I just want to tell you it's okay. It's okay. I mean, don't get panicked. Don't always have a need to, I need to consult with, because I need to figure it out like right now, right here. What I'm here to say is, it's okay. It's okay. Like you are experiencing the phase that you feel lost or sense of uncertainty, or you don't know where the direction's going. What I'm here to say is, since this is your life, learn as much as you can do. From my experience, I'm continuously learning through my life, because of different phases of time, I will learn different things. And then through learning, I figured out who I am, right? There'll be obstacles, there'll be things I hate to deal with, but I will force myself to deal with. It does take you a lot of courage, a lot of step out of your comfort zone to deal with it. Then after doing that, you will start searching for what's your purpose, what's the purpose for you in this life. Through this whole process of it, you reach excellency. That means you will become good at what you're doing, and eventually fulfill this whole journey called life. So anyway, just a little bit. But how do I overcome the anxiety when I feel so lost? I believe many of you will feel anxiety, which I did too. Very often, I tell myself to breathe. You do need to breathe. Why do you need to breathe? Very simple. Refer to the previous episode, because it brings you to the moment of now. Only when you're in the moment of now, you're able to connect with your spirit guide. Only when you connect with your spirit guide, then you able to have a little faith of yourself. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is, I understand a lot of time we living in the world dying to figure things out like 10 steps ahead. You know what I mean? Just because once I know the answer, then I can relax and then do it. Does that make sense to you? What I'm here to say, if you understand, if you do follow my blog for so long, there's so many ways that you can manifest your reality, but it won't work until you start trusting yourself. That's why you will see I spend a lot of episode after episode, try to tell you how crucial it is, how essential that is. You do have to have faith, because without faith, I don't care what kind of faith it is. It can be on God, can be on yourself, can be on your future, whatever that is. You do need to have faith, because once you start have faith, you then can start direct all your energy to that future that you really want to create. So anyway, here, just quickly share with you guys a little bit personal opinion about life. Let me say again, it's okay you feel lost. It's okay you feel confused sometimes. What I'm here to share with you is we don't always have to figure out answer right here, right now. Maybe answer will come to us as long as we continue searching. If there's nothing for you to grab on right now, have some faith to yourself. You will do whatever you can to make sure you have that faith. Even it takes you to talk to yourself in the mirror every day, or convince yourself, or anything. You will do everything you can to make sure you have that foundation right. Because you will know one thing, once you got a foundation right, everything else will fall into places. So anyway, just a little bit personal opinion to share with you all. Again, if you like what I'm doing, you can always join me live on Facebook, or go to subscribe my YouTube channel or my website, ruowenhuang.com. Till then, talk to you guys next time. Bye.